Okay, today we're going to look at mating with a king and rook against a king. So in this position, the king is right in the center, so it's very difficult to checkmate there because we have to get the king in one of the edges of the board. It doesn't matter which one. So just like we learned with the king and queen against the king, we're going to start with restricting. So rook a4 just cuts off the board. So the king can only go down that way or stay on this rank. Then he plays king c5, or he could play anywhere else. It's pretty much the same drill to win. So we bring the king forward. Then the king attacks the rook. And then we're going to make a little move that, of course, stops him from taking our rook, but also restricts the area in which the king is allowed. So as you can see now, after the rook on d4, the rook cuts him off here and there. So basically the square where he's allowed to be is right here. Then we have king c5. The king goes there, then the best move is probably there, and probably the best move here is to continue restricting with rook c4. See here we cut off, so now he's only have these squares left. There are other ways to do it. After king b5 you could play rook check. King has to go on b6 because if the king goes to a4, you just make a little move with the rook, which is a key move in mating with king and rook versus king. Is you just waste the tempo here. So after he does that, the only square for the after you play rook e5, the only square for the black king is here, and then rook here mate follows. So after rook d5 check, king b6, the king goes on b4, and then you got king here. You know the little side step where the rook wastes the move? The king has to go somewhere there, and then you go here, and he tries to follow you, and you keep going. The king goes to b7, and here you could play check and that works, but really the best way to do it is to further restrict him that way. So when he goes to a7, you do a little interesting maneuver, which is king c6. Now that's very interesting because if he plays king here, then the checkmate is right here. So that means that after king c6, he has no choice but going somewhere in the corner. Say king b8, then you have two ways of checkmating. The first one is to play your king here, only move in the corner, and then you checkmate here. Or you could play rook a3, forcing him here, and then the rook checkmates. So anyway, we were in the position where we play rook c4, which really illustrates well how to checkmate with the king and rook here. And then what you do is you further restrict. He moves away, only square, king up. The king goes here, then just king up, and then the king goes here, and now a nice little move, rook, king here. So, which means that, well, he's going to play on a7, because if he doesn't, if he goes to a5, then you have the little side step move here, and then when he goes back down, you checkmate this way. So anyway, after king c5 here, king c6, we saw how he couldn't go on a5. So it's got to go down on a7. And then you simply play rook b6. Continuing with the strategy of restricting. Don't restrict him too much because you're going to stalemate. So, if he goes here and you play rook here, you've stalemated him. That's the thing you have to watch for. So he goes in the corner. So instead of playing this silly move with stalemates, you just play king c7. And when he comes back up, which is the only square, then you just do the little sidestep move, wait for him to go in the corner, and then bingo. It's quite easy to checkmate with king and rook versus king, but it is more difficult than king and queen versus king for obvious reasons.